let's just focus for a minute, if we can, on the coronation. It's about 9 weeks away, but it really is coming up very, very quickly upon us. As I understand it, an invitation has been extended to Harry and his wife Meghan, but they have said they will only come to the coronation if they're given an apology. I can't believe this, but this is what I'm told. If they're given an apology by William, Kate and the King. Is that about where we are?
Yes, so the invitation hasn't yet been confirmed as being sent or received, but we're expecting this to happen. But you're quite right. You know, I don't know what life is like on planet Sussex, but they seem to live in this alternative reality where up is down and left is right. I mean, it's quite inconceivable that you would, launch a hail of abuse and attacks upon your nearest and dearest and then expect them to apologize. And you have to really ask, what are they apologizing for? You know, I mean, Harry should be lucky and Meghan should consider themselves lucky that they're even getting an invitation to this great ceremonial event. And, unfortunately, I think the problem is if they do accept this invitation, a lot of the media attention, which should be on the most important ceremonial and constitutional event our country has, the first coronation in 70 years, all focus should be on the King. And I just hope that we don't get this side-tracked distraction of Harry and Meghan and their ongoing fracas, and turning the coronation into Coronation Street or something, if I could say.
No, I get that. Well, I hope they don't come. If they do, they'll be booed in the street. I know, because I'll be queuing outside to boo myself. But you said the coronation's all about the King. But a final thought, if I may, while I've got you. We have learnt over the last few days that Camilla absolutely will not be the Queen Consort. She is going to be the Queen. And what I found interesting about that statement was there didn't appear to be any pushback against the idea at all. Do you think she's actually managed to win, despite a pretty rocky start, over the hearts and minds of the British public?
I think absolutely right. I mean, it must be said that Queen Camilla became Queen the moment that her husband acceded to the throne. She's Queen Consort with a small Q and a small C, but there's no official title of Queen Consort. She is officially the Queen. But what the palace has done very, very cleverly and I think very correctly is they've allowed the public to get used to the idea of a Queen Camilla in stages. So, of course, we first heard the Queen say that she hopes that the public will accept Camilla as Queen Consort. And then, of course, to avoid confusing having two queens so close together, Queen Elizabeth and Queen Camilla, quite rightly, I think we've had for this period references to the Queen Consort, even though she is really Queen. And then from the coronation, we will finally drop the consort and regard her as Queen. And yes, this has been a long process over the past 20-odd years of getting to know Queen Camilla, and everyone who's met her will say that the same thing, that she's extremely funny, down to earth, really unlike the sort of roles you would expect. The key task for the royal family and the monarchy is to impart that same feeling we now have for Queen Camilla around the Commonwealth realms, where they don't know her so well and where she still is an unfamiliar figure. And unfortunately, 25 years after Diana's death, whenever there's a royal tour of Canada, Diana is brought up yet again after a quarter of a century. And I just hope now, finally that will be put to bed. People will see her for the woman she really is.
Rafe, thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight. As usual, informative and entertaining too.